Hi guys, we're back again with another P-51 Mustang, again from VolantexRC. This is the newly released brushless version, and it's their LegendsWarbirds series. And what a cracking looking model it is. There she is in all her glory. You might have seen a previous video of mine, a review video of this little baby. This is the same brand, VolantexRC. Their mini warbird series or micro warbird series, 4-channel warbird. This is the Mustang. They do a Corsair, Spitfire, Messerschmitt, I think. A fantastic series, and I think I might have waffled on before about how when I was a kid getting into aero modelling with little rubber powered planes, they were about this size, little rubber powered free flight planes, and I would have given anything to have a 4-channel radio control plane like this at this size. Absolutely fantastic. So the hobby's come a very long way in a few decades. So that's this video review is out there on YouTube. This is the newer version, slightly bigger. You can see this Mustang is 400mm wingspan, 40 centimeters, which is just a great size if you're limited in flying space. The brushless version is 100mm wingspan bigger, got 500mm wingspan. And I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to fly it. It arrived just a couple of days ago, and sadly, in true English summer tradition, I don't know if yeah, you can't really see, but it's really blowing a hoolie. We've got winds. We've had winds and rain all week, up to about 30-35 miles an hour, and you just can't. It'd be pointless. Yes, I could take it out of the field and do a flight video now, but it would be pointless because with winds this strong and gusty, little foam models like this, despite the electronic stabilisation, they still get knocked about. So planes like this, realistically, if you want a truly enjoyable experience flying them, you want to be flying them in winds kind of around about maximum 10 miles an hour, something like that. Calmer is better, basically, with things like this. So yeah, it's English weather. Don't get me onto English weather. But hopefully the forecast for the rest of the week is for the winds to calm down. So I'm just doing this video now just to show you the plane, and fingers crossed, yeah, fingers crossed, the winds will die down. I can get this thing out in the field because I'm so looking forward to flying it. I cannot wait to give it a go and see how it performs. So yeah, basically it's just a bigger version of this. This I've been so impressed with. It's just such a great little plane to fly. This one with the brushless motor, it's going to be more powerful. The battery for this one is a 2-cell. This and the other warbirds in the series fly on a 1-cell. The battery for the brushless one I am charging. I'm not using the supplied USB charger, which is fine. It'll do the job. The only reason I'm charging it on my own charger is because I'm balancing the cells, which I always do for a first charge because you never quite know. So this is the 2-cell LiPo battery for the new Mustang. The only thing, my only criticism is there's absolutely no labeling on it. So I know that it's a 2-cell, nominal 7.4 volts, but I have no idea at the moment what capacity it is. So I'm just going to charge it up, then I can check the capacity. But that said, that's by the by, really. The fact is this one's going to be flying on a 2-cell as opposed to the 1-cell. So obviously a lot more power. It's going to be faster. Yes, it's heavier, obviously being bigger and with a bigger battery it's heavier. I've just got this thing on the scales. It's weighed in at 90 grams without the battery, as opposed to this one weighing in at 50 grams without the battery. So getting on for double the weight, but that's no bad thing because, and it's still light, you know, 90 grams is nothing. It's still a lightweight model. But to be honest, you can almost be too light. You know, heavier gives it more mass, it gives it more stability. So even though 90 grams is still nothing, it's going to help, and it's not by any means a heavy model for its size. Yeah, I just think it's a lovely looking model. It's done up in a color scheme. I haven't been on Google to see whether it's authentic. I'm sure it is. You've got the never miss with the bomb, the never miss bomb on the side, and some D-Day markings, the classic black and white stripes of the D-Day invasion, and a pilot, nice little pilot there doing his thing. And 4-channel, as I previously said, same as the smaller version, 4-channel. So you've got control to motor power, ailerons, elevator, rudder. The only servo visible is the aileron, so same setup as the small one, exactly the same. You got the same configuration with the servo, single servo doing both ailerons with the diagonal push rods, so they're going to work perfectly well. And then elevator and rudder control. I hope the thing they have improved on, and I must admit I haven't tried this, with the smaller micro version, the battery bay is very tight. It's a bit of a nightmare getting the battery in there nicely without squishing all the cables to death. They could have made that battery compartment slightly bigger. That's my one and only criticism of this particular one. This one looks fairly generous. Obviously, being a 2-cell, it's a bigger battery, but the battery compartment looks fairly generous, so I don't really see a problem. You've got a standard JST connector in there to connect to the battery. So the battery just pops in there and she'll be ready to go. Again, nothing to do to it other than that. It's all completely ready to fly. I tell a lie, you need to put the prop on. The two props come in a bag. You need to put the prop on. The plane comes with the prop off. Exactly the same setup as the smaller ones, where the prop and the spinner just pop on. They clip in place, and the purpose of that is that when you have a heavy landing, I won't call it a crash, when you have a heavy landing, the prop flies off, the propeller and the spinner together fly off, and it just prevents breaking blades, basically. So it's a great little system. So although you get 2 props provided in the box, it's not 2 spare props, it's 1 prop and 1 spare, if that makes sense. The other thing is the undercarriage, clip-in undercarriage, and I personally will fly it without, because these things look so much nicer flying without an undercarriage dangling down. But again, same configuration. You've got the clip-in undercarriage landing gear. You got the 2 clips there, and exactly the same type of fitting. So these just clip into there, and I have had them in, and it's a very secure fitting. Fine, you know, if you want to practice your takeoffs, put the undercarriage in. You've got a tail wheel as well. a little tail wheel which will clip into there. And if you want to practice your takeoffs and landings, that's fine. Otherwise, if you're going to fly without, so it looks nicer in the air, you're obviously limited to a hand launch, but these things are so easy to hand launch. Not a problem at all. So that's it. Yeah, that's the plane. And what else do we get in the box? Undercarriage USB charger, fairly hefty USB charger compared to the one you get with the smaller Mustang. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll do its job. Instruction manual, the same transmitter, exactly the same transmitter as the smaller version, and also other planes in the Volantex range, like the Ranger. So you've got this is the Mode 2 version, and you've got the same switches. You've got the gyro stabilisation, so towards you as in beginner mode. That's going to make the plane safest to fly. It's going to limit pitch attitude and bank angles, and basically prevents you getting into trouble. So if you're a total beginner, keep it on that one. Definitely, it makes a huge difference. It really does. Middle position is intermediate, so that increases the pitch attitude and bank angles, but it still prevents you getting into too much trouble. And then the third position is the stabilisation turned off, and basically the plane is 100% yours. You can do what you want, and good luck with that. Well, I'll be interested to see how this one flies with the stabilisation off. This one is okay up to a certain point, but it's not the nicest thing to fly with the stabilisation off. My top RC Spitfire is exactly the same, if not worse. The stabilisation makes such a difference. But you know, if you're new to radio control flying, just keep it either beginner or intermediate. The other button is the aerobatic button. So again, as same with the other planes, you press it. If you want to do a roll, for example, you just press it, it'll beep, and then you move the aileron, for example, left, and the plane will automatically do a left roll. If you want to do a loop, you press it, pull back on the elevator stick, and the plane will magically loop. So that's the preset aerobatic button. Again, exactly the same on the smaller models. And I think for the moment, guys, I think that's pretty much all I can say. I'm really, really hoping for a calm day, because as I said earlier, I can't wait to get this thing airborne and see how she flies. And as soon as I can, I will get that video done and get it posted, because let's face it, at the end of the day, you want to see these planes fly, right? It's fine me waffling on about them on the bench, but it's all about how they fly, which is why I'm not going to fly it on a windy day, because it just won't give you a true idea of how it flies. And it's, you know, you'll see it'll be blown all over the place, going all over the place. It'll make me look like I can't control the plane. So it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. But just hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Keep everything crossed that our good old English weather settles down and we get some calmer days very soon. And I'll get this flight video done for you. But in the meantime, my final thoughts are, this looks a fantastic little model. As if this one wasn't good enough, they've obviously gone one better with a slightly larger size and brushless motor. And as I've said a few times, I cannot wait to get it airborne to see how she flies. Okay, guys, fingers crossed, we'll speak again soon. Just a little afterthought here, guys. I was just looking at the Mustang here, and my little Audi Quattro S1 was sitting next door to it. And just by chance, I don't know, depending on where you are in the world, you might or might not be familiar with Group B rallying from the 1980s, but the Audi Quattro S1, one of my favourite cars of all time and very historic. I just happened to find the other day on the internet a 1/24th scale radio control S1, and here she is. And just by chance, the VolantexRC Mustang is, I've just done a little quick calculation, comes out about 1/22nd scale. So they're actually very close. So I just thought I'd put the S1 next to the P-51. And there you go, they're almost exactly the same scale. So, you know, this guy, he could be a Tom Cruise with his P-51. And he might just, after a flight, climb out and get in his S1 and go for a spin. So if you're in the world and you know anyone with a full-size P-51 and an Audi S1, just let me know, because I want to go and have a beer with them. All right, guys, just thought I'd throw that in for a laugh. Cheers.